Ever since high school, I was told to be quiet. Now I'm embracing my voice with Living Out Loud with Ellie. I'm Ellie, a business owner, a mother, a wellness advocate. I'll be sharing my journey in business, style, health and fitness. Join me and my guests as we empower each other to live boldly, unapologetically and out loud. On today's episode, we're talking about balancing business, babies and branding with my two beautiful friends, Ellie Moulton, owner of Plus One Dress Hire, a leading Adelaide-based dress hire business known for its inclusive size range, passionate about making fashion accessible and empowering women through style. And my beautiful friend, Jamie Riley, a styling and content creator specialising in fashion and lifestyle brands. She helps businesses bring their brand vision to life through visual storytelling and style expertise. She's also a stylist at Westfield Marion here in Adelaide.
Hello.
Thank you.
Good morning.
I feel like, I just put this on them really a week ago. We were actually at coffee.
We got tricked.
Yeah, they got tricked.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I said, let's catch up for coffee because I hadn't seen both of them in a long time.
But you knew what you were doing.
I can't.
And there was cake on the table when I arrived. So something dodgy was going down.
And I'm like, there's carrot cake. It's beautiful. You need to have some. And then I was like, right. So are both of you going to be my guest on my podcast? And I sort of just landed it on
We couldn't say no. We
weren't really asked. We were told in true Ellie fashion.
Going to be on it.
Next Monday.
Next Monday. We're like, so when can we do this? They're like, well, I'm free Mondays. Right, next Monday. Great. I think we've got a lot to unpack because you are both amazing businesswomen in your own right. But the first thing though is that you're mums. And that you have small children. Ellie, you've got one on the way. Yes. Amazing. She's got that beautiful pregnancy glow. And Jamie has two beautiful children. Now, the struggle is real about business, branding, babies, how we do it all, which we laughed about 10 minutes ago because I don't think any of us are doing it fantastically all the way around.
It might look like we have it all together from what we show, but it is that juggle that I don't think we'll ever get on top of, that balance that you try to have. It's so hard.
Definitely.
100%. And it's normalizing it that actually I don't know
so
anyone who's doing it all and doing it all well.
No. My mum always said, the old-fashioned amazing person she is, said that you cannot do it all. So she really, as a young age, was like, if you want to be a career woman, you can do that amazingly. Then if you want to have children, you can do that amazingly. Don't expect to be able to do them both at the same time amazingly. Now, there are probably women that maybe are. I just don't know many of them. I know that because internally they struggle. And so I feel like we think if we're not struggling, that means we've got it all under control. But the struggle is what's real. And I feel like the messiness.
Mum guilt, like if I focus 1 week, if it's super busy with work, and I'm not home that much, then I'm like, I haven't got the balance right this week. And then you have the mum guilt.
Yes.
So it's like you can't
and the mum guilt doesn't end. So you guys have younger children. I have teenage children who I did it the wrong way. So you amazing ladies have been working through your children being young. I wasn't working per se while they were young. I was stay-at-home mum. I was that kept wife. I did the work and stuff from home, but I really didn't leave the house. My prioritised was the kids, their drop-off, their pick-up, everything to do with the kids. I was there and then I shopped the rest of the time. Yeah. That's literally all I did.
That sounds amazing.
But let me tell you, now that I'm at the other end where I'm like, my kids are now independent. I can now focus on me. It's me time. Yeah. I can now get out and work more. They are having fits. I've got Grace who's almost 18 and Andy who's he's 13. And the mum guilt is full on because they're not used to me being there.
Yeah. 100%. The mum guilt I think it's something I've just learnt to accept. Yeah. Because deep down I know I'm a better mum for being a working mum.
100%.
And I know I'm better in business for having children, having a child away, having a family. So somewhere along the line, you kind of have to be like, okay, it doesn't feel right every day, but I know in myself I am a better person in both instances.
100%.
And when we always talk about this, Ellie, when we prioritise our workout in the morning or that little bit of self-care,
you have to.
I am better for it.
I struggle with that a little bit, but it's just
important.
getting to the
so
gym.
I let my health go really through the entire time my kids were little, up until Andy turned about 9 or 10, so about 3 years ago. Then I thought, you are old enough now to make yourself some toast in the morning and get yourself ready for school. I'm out. And so I started my morning workout as a priority because I'm like, it teaches them independence, number one. They're not relying on me to tie his shoelaces. He's 10. He can do it himself. And like he can breathe on his own. I mean, my daughter's always been really responsible, so she was fine. But I just had to say, the mornings I'm out and I will come back and take you to school.
And it's good for them to see that we're
100%.
exercising.
I was going to say that. Teddy grew up in the gym. I mean, we drive past the gym now. It's, there's Teddy's gym.
Yeah,
and actually we're in a study now where there are so many options to be able to bring your children.
Yes.
And I think it is fantastic.
I think so.
Seeing mum work out, even now pregnant, like just that sort of what he sees, and he knows that's a good start to the day. He comes 3 times a week.
It makes it normal.
Yeah.
Right? So then they grow up thinking that's just normal.
Yep.
So that's what was really important for me to actively change what I was doing previously and go, no, something's got to change. And so I had to do that and prioritize that. My son yesterday says to me, oh, Mum, you need to start creatine. I'm like, mate.
What's that?
You know, like
what?
It's like a supplement that you take.
What? I've never heard.
It's like it helps your muscles with the fluid retention, your muscles, and you
100%
burn fat.
recovery and
and good for like, strength training and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
But I'm like, so my son he encourages me a lot.
Yeah.
He's like, Mum, you can do that. You can bench press that. I'm like, yeah, okay, Andy. Yeah, I can.
That's
so
cute.
he's being influencing really positive what he is. And for him, it's impacting really positively.
But you talk like that at home. So he's picked that.
And it filters
that up
down.
from you.
It filters down with, your meals and all your habits, your healthy habits filter down from really 100%. How you start the day. And if that is moving your body.
Yeah.
I mean, we've always been able to prioritize sitting down, having a coffee at some point. It's not dissimilar. It's just making sure there's that 45 minutes to move.
You're a better mum.
Yes.
If you give yourself that hour in the morning or that 45 minutes to do you.
Yeah, 100%.
Like if your husband or your partner can't understand that, there's trouble in paradise because if they can't understand that you're a better mum and a wife and a person, when you give yourself time to sometimes it's not even about the workout. It's actually about giving you that mental space that you need to just feel good about yourself and be in your own space without them around you.
What's that TikTok trend I've been seeing lately? And it's like an extra 10 minutes gives you a better 8 hours or gives you a better 10 hours.
Yes.
And I'm like, I so believe that. Because
Yes,
if I
it
pop
does.
on my face in the morning, it lasts all day, ready to go, more energy.
And then you've got all the content to make, right?
I've got all,
So that's what I felt yesterday. I made all this content because I was home doing just a work day from home and I had no makeup on because I went for a walk in the morning. And then I thought, no, I'm going to put makeup on. I put makeup on and I took all this content. And I was like,
you're ready to go.
This is so good. I did a TikTok. I did an Instagram story. I was like, this is amazing. But when you're not prepared for the day, then you're not being productive.
That's right. If
100%.
I'm in my pajama, if I'm in my trackies in the morning, I feel really sluggish. I don't get anything done. I just feel like such a waste.
That's why Jamie always rocked up to the gym looking like
face.
Looking like a glamour.
Like, she doesn't sweat. It's not right.
I do sweat.
No, I've got to tell this story. So when we started I was at BFT at Kent Town. And Jamie and I knew each other obviously through social stuff in Adelaide and events and stuff. And, she was always a great supporter out in the paddock. So she would come to our events. And then she was like, I really want to come and train. I know Bo, I'd like to come and train at Kent Town. I'm like, you need to come. Like, you have to.
Then they forced me, no.
Yeah, but she literally was driving from the other end of Adelaide to come to Kent Town. She did it for us and for me and Bowie, right?
But I loved it.
But she loved it. But the thing is that and the first day she walked in, I'm like, I have regretted making her come.
Shut up.
No, she looks like a dolly. Like what? She's got this beautiful physique and her glowy makeup, and her matching little outfits. And I'm thinking to myself, I can't wait to see when she sweats because that makeup is going to go. No,
doesn't move. Well, I don't sweat that much.
No, the makeup.
The most gracious, but you work out hard.
She works out hard, and in the end, she was like lifting heavy. She was like amazing. And then there was not one budge of the makeup. And I'm always very jealous of that because every time. So what happened is about 6 months into Jamie and I working out together, I started doing my my glowy stuff on my face before, a little bit of mascara. And the way that I sweat like a perimenopausal
she was wiping
cow, it's sweating everywhere. And I have blotchiness and I was looking in my mirror going, oh, that's just, what have I done?
I don't know if it's just my type of skin or I know everyone can't do that, but I don't sweat that
no
much.
one, actually.
Maybe I should up the water intake, guys.
No.
But also it lasts all day. So now that I'm doing strong Pilates, I feel like once I do my makeup early in the morning, go to Pilates, I'm good for the day.
That's amazing.
I went to Pilates this morning.
That is amazing. So when I started doing my face for the gym, one of my good friends, Vanessa, was like, you trying to be Jamie wearing makeup to the gym?
But it's so funny because I just wear my tinted moisturiser, so it looks, I don't know, it just looks like
you look amazing
it's
regardless.
It's because of my slick bun and it's all
maybe.
I don't
look quite like that when I work out.
No, me either. But you know what, though? It doesn't matter about that. It matters. And what's amazing is that, yes, in the gym, there are people that look like that, amazing and put together. And then there's the other end, which is like just getting there, which is the biggest
But we're all
step.
there
That's
for
right.
the
It
same
doesn't
reason.
matter.
And no one gives a shit.
Exactly.
You're just there to do. And you don't even look like I pay out Jamie about looking like a glamazon every time. That's just her. That's just her.
Everyday life.
She's
But
just
no
that's
one
her.
looks. Everyone's
No
there
one
for
cares.
themselves. They want a good workout.
Nobody
They made
cares.
it, and that's what's
And you know, at the end of the
important.
day, when you've had a day like that, it has, you know, you get home and you're like, that was a very productive day from the
Yes.
get-go.
Yeah.
And
Gym, coffee, me time, babies. So you don't actually. So I know when the kids are little, we have to prioritize them as, you know, first. We have to make sure they're surviving and they're living and they're breathing and they're whole, right?
Fed.
They're fed and loved and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Then there comes a point, and it's an age thing. There comes a point in time where it turns around and you go, actually, you're good. And actually, I am important. And if I don't prioritize, I find a lot of women get stuck. So not a lot of women, like we, because we're all like this, we think it's quite normal to get up, go to the gym, get ourselves ready,
Yeah, we are
be active,
go-getters.
be
We
ready.
go.
Yes.
We
What have we
thrive.
got today? We've got a shoot on today. You've got an event on tonight. You've got your business. You've got to run, all this sort of stuff. A lot of women get stuck in that
Sure.
post-baby world.
Yeah.
And their
100%.
kids then are like, you know, maybe 10, 12, and they're still like that in between and don't know where they're at. Now, you don't have to run your own business and you don't have to be
No.
juggling 5 million things, but what you have to feel is good about yourself. That's what you owe to yourself.
100%.
And you've got to find out how that happens, whether it's by working out, giving yourself time to do yoga, going for your walk, whatever it is.
Doing something for
doing
you.
something for you.
And it's not, you don't feel guilty when you're doing that. I think that's the
100%.
key. And like, I know that, you know, in the industries that we are all in, there's a lot of judgment.
Yes.
There's a lot of voices. And I mean, you turn off to it, obviously, but a lot of people are going to think and say
judge.
sometimes, you know, we've discussed it before, Jamie, people piping in and having comments about what they perceive that you do with your life.
Yes, yep. I
But
get
really,
that.
it's a small little fraction.
It's that snippet that
that
we
you
show
see,
on
and
stories. Or,
you're not filming toilet training your child
No.
or being up 5 times in the night with your children
course,
or the shit at work, like
Yeah.
things going wrong. Like
Yeah.
you're not when you're in those moments, you're not getting out of camera.
No.
So it's definitely putting on a strong face and realizing, hey, people are going to talk, people are going to have opinions. I don't give a shit. I'm
Yeah.
going to
Exactly.
do my 1 hour of workout. I'm going to work as a mother.
Yeah.
You know, my children, my son has grown up at work with me. He thinks he works with me. Now,
I
I'm
love
not
that.
saying, you know, we have a really good balance, but
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Like, you know, at least we're together.
Yes.
I'm not turfing him off to
No.
go to be with somebody else, and that is the nature of having
And
a
that's
business
what having
and
your own
small
business can
children,
give you.
100%.
And that's, you can do it on your terms.
Yes, totally.
I mean, sometimes I know that that's the juggle and sometimes it's hard because if he's sick and you need to be somewhere and then
Sure.
so you're caught in the middle. But those times aren't all the time.
No.
You know, and just like any job, you're going to feel pulled in different directions. Even if you
Correct.
have no children and you're going to work, you're going to feel like 3-4 different people need something from you at the same time.
Yeah.
And you can't be everywhere at once.
Yes.
So it's about knowing what's important at that time. And then the next day going, you're actually not that sick, but not sick enough, but you're too sick to come to work. I'm going to leave you with your grandmother or whatever. And you'll be
100%.
fine. So to make that choice when you need to, I feel like is
100%.
a good thing.
Yep.
I want to touch on, Jamie, you out of all the influencers, I hate the word influencer. And so
do
I'm
I.
We need a
sorry.
new word.
I know,
We need a
I
new
hate
word.
it. And I did,
Creation.
Content creator.
if you realize in your intro, I didn't even mention influencer.
I know, thank you.
Because you are for me, you are a content creator. So if
And the content's been really
the
good.
content is amazing.
The content's been really
She's
good.
on fire.
But
She's
I
on
feel
fire.
inspired when I create great content. It's when I feel super inspired.
Yes.
But people are asking questions, and I'm like, I've got my little notes and my little
course.
list
Makes
of
it easier.
answering people and giving the people what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But that's so one of the things about an influencer, we'll use that word just because that's a word that, you know, you get invited to
Universally
events
known.
and you get invited to lots of things. But you stand for a lot more than just being an influencer, because I feel like, and I'll take it back to our events company a little bit. With Out in the Paddock, we host Christmas events. So in the beginning, before I didn't really know Jamie that well, but I think someone put her on a list or something that we were having an event. We got some PR agency involved. I can't remember. No, Ray actually knew Jamie before. I think my husband knew Ray before, Jamie before. But so she was on a guest list to come. And the minute she walks in, because of her style and her presence, she elevates the space.
100%.
So I don't, and then obviously now we are good friends. She's on the list because I want her there as my support system, usually, most of the time. But when we invite people to our events like that, like influencer in the influencer space, it's generally not because of their influence, because it doesn't, for us, reflect sales.
No.
For us, it's about a presence. And they've set a tone. So someone like Jamie walking up to our events in this beautiful outfit, which she's probably got from Plus One Dress Higher from Ellie and has styled meticulously together, elevates the look of the event and then gives everyone like aspiration to look to. Then like, oh, that event, they all dressed up. I want to dress like that to the next event. It sets a tone to the events, which you bring to that. Like, because
thanks.
it's naturally you bring a certain tone and a level. And I feel like that's what you do to your brands that you work for when you're doing their content.
Yeah.
And so
I
even
agree.
when you're taking, like you have your own personal style, but you're very good at adapting that to suit the individual.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some brands that you work with that you might go into detail with that aren't necessarily 100% where you would shop yourself.
Yeah.
But they're a great Australian brand or whatever, and that you want to style up and try and make it work for you, and you do it in such a great way. Do you struggle with that?
Well, I only try to align and work with brands that I would actually wear. So most of the 99% of the time, I would work with a brand that I, most all the time, 100%.
Yeah.
But I always have my own twist on it.
Yeah.
So I'd style it how I would wear it, and it might be different to everyone else or whatever. But I always try to give different options, like, my little tuck, my twist and tuck with the shirt and rolling up the sleeves.
Yes.
So just giving some more styling advice on how to wear different things. So people can,
what people want to see, really.
Yeah, just to make it to suit a whole range of people.
Yeah.
Because we all have our personal brand, but our personal style and brand doesn't necessarily suit mainstream. And so you got to like tweak it. That's the same in business, Ellie. I guess that for you being a dress hire business, you have to kind of have an array of options.
It has been a big learning curve, and it has reflected my journey. I think like I started the business when I was pregnant with Teddy.
Yes.
And it was by accident. Fell into that.
I love that.
Love that, yeah. So people just wanting to borrow clothes, and I was like, hang on a minute, I'm pregnant. And obviously my size range is different, every few weeks. It's not really a time you want to invest in big purchases, but you still want to look good. And I mean, more than ever, really, when your body's changing that rapidly. And but now it's lent itself to like really considering women and a really, really wide range of women and how they feel in those shopping environments, which are really daunting. It's
so what
really
you put on
daunting
yourself
space.
is a massive pressure from an outsider. So my experiences with you, Ellie, have been obviously everything amazing. It's right where I think now the friendship has developed because I met you at one of our events. It was just random. Hi, you're Ellie Plus One, and I'd heard heaps about you and you're a beautiful girl and all this stuff. And then I went in there and hired something, and then we got chatting, and then I've done a few of your shoots for you, and you've dressed me a few times, and you make everyone feel 100% comfortable and seen and included. Now, to the point where you could be walking in there. Now, this was not now because now your size range is inclusive and amazing. But even before, there was always a size range, but it wasn't known that if you're over a size 14 or 16, you could just go and hire something. It's really hard in that space. Yes. So for me, walking in there, I was like, I'm just going to see what it is. You made me feel like I've got you. She scoured that little shop you had back then for like 100 different options. I've never walked into a shop and had that many options to try on. And things I ordinarily wouldn't have tried on, you were like, no, this will be cool on you. Try that, like sleeveless and one shoulder. And I'm like, this is out of my comfort zone. But you've really done that for me on a personal level. Like even when you've asked me, like, you want to dress me for an event and you're like, I've got this dress, I want you to wear it. And internally I'm like, oh my God, that's so body hugging. Oh my God, I don't wear dresses like that. Oh my God, that's never going to fit me, because me, it goes straight to that's not going to fit me. And so that's not going to fit me. What do you mean? I'm not that size, Literally, Ellie that dress will fit you. If she thinks it will fit you. She will zip.
It'll get her.
Grace and I, my daughter, every time we're zipping something up that's tight, she's like, Ellie would make it work, Mum. Ellie would make So we even said it to Ray the other day. He was zipping something up. He's like, this isn't going to work. And Grace's like, Ellie would make it work, right? Just get in there. So you really make everyone feel so comfortable and seen. And it's been the best experience for me because you've taken me out of my comfort zone and you've shown me confidence in clothes to a different level. And I appreciate that so much because it did more for me than it was just a dress. But it was so much more than just a dress.
Oh, I thank you. That's very kind. I think I'm definitely learning in this. I want that to grow, and I want to be able to. I want everybody who walks through the door to have that experience.
Yeah.
I think there is, you associate dressing, and Jamie would see this in her space as well. Like it's, you know, for some people, it's a really awful, daunting experience. And when an event crops up, it's like, I don't want to go.
Yes.
Whereas that's so sad because you're missing out on, you know, these really fun, you know, it's usually quite celebratory, you're celebrating something. Of
course, yeah.
You know, and I just think, imagine that just being straight off the cuff, like negative.
Yes.
So we are still trying, you know, there's still things we can do better, but I'm definitely like the biggest emphasis now on Plus One is working with labels, our seamstress and our people. Like I think our clients are so incredible, and the range of clients we have from all different walks of life, all different ages, and therefore all different sizes. And usually work, you know, Ali, I've learned so much from you, and with, you know, what labels, you know, you tend to look towards for dressing your body. And that helps me be able to buy for Plus One.
Yes.
So it's all comes in swings around. Right? We all help each other out.
Because I get a lot of people, like I'll wear something and then I get so many, because I am a curvier body and I'm, you know, at the moment like 16 or an 18, depends on what brands it is. But even when I was larger, I would get people ask me, especially going to events, where did you get your dress from? It's so hard to find event dresses. And it was the biggest trauma I've had is finding evening wear. That is traumatic for anyone larger than a size 14. Yeah. But you've made it really easy and convenient. And I even know with the young girls who I've got some girls that I recommend go to you, and then the insecure girls and a little bit not so confident, and they go there and they feel amazing. And I'll get a message going, oh my God, Ellie was amazing. I'm like, she really is. And I think it stems, Ellie, from your background in personal training.
Yes, I think it should be a customer, a service. You're providing a service, and it should be on that one-to-one level. Like I think it's so tricky because, and Jamie, you'd be the same, like you're in retail essentially, but it's not retail. And I think that works in my favor as well. Like when people, you know, and you'd be like this, Ali, when you come in, you're not committing to having to buy something and wear it 1,000 times. Like the way that I try and explain it is, hey, we can have fun with this. You're going to wear it once.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't have to own it.
You
can
have to
actually be
overthink it.
Whoever the hell you want to be for this event.
Yes.
And, you know, as long as you feel good, and then, you know what, you hand it back next time we do something different.
I think that's the most rewarding part of all of our jobs. Like when I dress someone, say it's in your store or at Westfield, if I'm dressing someone and at the end they walk away with these shopping bags and they started so nervous. Oh, I hate shopping. Oh, we're not going to find anything.
Or just in very one way. Like they're like, oh, this is what I wear.
It's just so rewarding at the end. Yes. And it's like, that's why I do what I do.
Yes, that's so true. And I brought up the PT, Ellie, because I feel like that's given you an empathy.
Yes.
Of understanding women and how they get in their own heads.
I never knew the tie between my two
it's
jobs,
massive.
my two careers, until probably we, you know, spoke about it one day. I was like, oh yeah, no shit. Like they are very, very similar. And you're right. Like it definitely comes down to
because people come to see you when they're in a vulnerable state.
100%.
So as PT, they want to get fitter.
But then it's not dissimilar to what Jamie just said.
100%.
You get that reward at the end in both industries. And that is just seeing somebody feel body confident.
Yes.
Which is, there's nothing better. And everybody should be able to feel that way. And all I want to do in such a little small space, but, you know, is
you're definitely making changes. You are making changes in the way that as consumers that we're able to shop and the way that we're able to feel in that experience. And knowing that we can go in there and it might not be our ideal style outfit, but as you said, it's one night. Let's have fun.
100%.
Like it might not be something you're going to spend $1,000 on, but you'll spend $100 on or $200 for a night.
And I think that would be the comment I hear the most is I would have never worn, I would have never picked that. And I was like, well, that is, you know, you've broken some barriers too in allowing me throw some things at you that you otherwise wouldn't even look at.
So you're doing so much more than just the dress hire. Obviously you've got, you know, the sustainability of it all and what that means to, you know, trying to have a more sustainable business because, you know, the hiring, obviously you're re-wearing and it's all that sort of stuff. And then you're selling, you know, when your hires have had their day, you know, you you move on to make room for new stuff.
But I have to say in that space, you know, I have to really like highlight here, Jamie, people that work in Jamie's space in that content creating and, you know, being at lots of events and things. Massive thank you and kudos to them because, you know, Jamie will wear something to an event that's come from Plus One and there'll be somebody at our event who's like, I'm going to wear that next week.
Yeah,
and
of course.
We have broken like this stereotype that you have to have a new outfit that's just been released. Like people are stepping away and just being like, hey,
so true.
I recommend, I can acknowledge that dress is amazing. I want to wear that for something.
Yes.
And that is huge. Like, thank God. I remember when we were younger, it was like, it had to be a new outfit. You'd wear it once and then it would just sit in the wardrobe. Those days. So it's as nice as the sustainability does stem from dresses being reworn. They're reworn in the same groups.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
That was actually a massive surprise. Like when I saw it start to happen.
It.
So for me.
We've worn the same stuff.
Yeah,
that's
like,
so
no
good because then your average 20-year-old girl is sitting there going, hang on, if they can, if they're following you, Jamie, or they're following you, Ellie, and they're looking in the circles, because Adelaide's very small. So the social girls are one kind of thing, and when they're out, and you see it on socials. And if you don't see it on socials, you're probably hiding under a rock because it's quite out there. You know, everyone's an oversharer, right? Yeah. Everyone is recording everything. Yeah. But you see the same dress. There was that dress, the black short one with the bows.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Stunning
dress. That was worn.
Joe's little polo dress.
Yes,
I remember.
Joe's dress.
We've all done it.
Yeah. And
everyone's done it differently.
Everyone's done it so differently and it looks so great. And every time I see someone wear it, I'm like, that is amazing.
The dress that keeps on giving.
It keeps on giving.
That's what
and
you want.
I just think it's changing the way that we think and the way that we shop and the way that
that's
we
act. That's the biggest thing I've noticed in the last few years in this space. And I just think it's such a good thing. Especially for women in general.
With capsule wardrobe.
Yes.
I'm all about re-wearing. Why wouldn't you wear that black blazer or your white a million times? That's what the point of it. Yeah.
And almost keeping your capsule wardrobe at home for your everyday wear and your corporate wear. And then I can't believe every year how many more girls are coming to hire for formal. Like I remember at formal, it was this big ordeal and like a lot of people would fly into state and oh my God. But like people are just so happy to hire. You know, I've got people hiring for weddings, like their own weddings or their wedding events. Like it's so good because people just can see that actually, no, I don't need to own that.
Yeah.
Well, they're saving money.
Yeah, I'm saving money here.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm supporting, the sustainability and it, it all just works.
So good.
Out.
Jamie, I wanted to touch quickly on, we've got a few minutes left. I wanted to touch on your vulnerability and the way that you are very open. And we mentioned before that we only post snippets of our life. But what I love about you in your space, in your influencer space, the non-influencer, in your content creating space, when you were in the car and you're doing your talk times, you and I both love a talk time.
Yeah.
In the talk times, you are raw and vulnerable. And when you fucked up your taxes, you're quite happy to say, shit, I didn't account. I didn't account for that. And then you're like, husband, what do we do? Like, you're very open. And I really appreciate that about you because I think people want that.
Yeah, I find it hard to hide things or like it just is what it is. Isn't everyone going through all these things?
Yes, of course.
So I just share what I feel.
So you're learning while your viewers and your community is learning with you because a lot of up and coming girls that want to start their own little businesses and they will see that and that's okay. People make mistakes. It's business.
Can't
that's right. Well, you make mistakes, but then you grow as you make those mistakes. So you learn. Yeah. But I feel like I am an open book. Yes. If anyone asks me anything, I really try and get onto my DMs and answer everything and anything. I'm not hiding. I'm not trying to gatekeep.
No.
I'll share.
Yes. You're very good
Everyone
like that.
deserves to feel good about themselves. So that's why I try and
you
share
have
all
a little
my
bit
knowledge.
Of a movement. We call it like the Jamie look.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a Jamie movement. It's the oversized blazer. Before that, you saw Kim Kardashian do it really well a few years ago, but no one has done it as good as Jamie loves.
There you go. Take that.
So if you want to follow Jamie and her styling tips and everything she has to say, please follow her at jamie.loves on Instagram and my beautiful friend Ellie and her beautiful business, +1 Dress Hire, Ellie _+1. Thank you, girls, so much.
Thank you so much,
Ellie.
I love you.
We're so proud of you.
Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to leave me any sort of question, please shoot me a DM on Instagram at Living Out Loud with Ali or Ali Aukar, that's my handle, ALLYAOUKAR, or leave a message below and I'll find you.